Okay, so this time our topic is about outsourcing, contracting, and hiring non-regular government personnel. Outsourcing, contracting, and the hiring of non-regular government personnel have become increasingly common strategies in public administration as agencies respond to resource constraint, specialized service needs, and evolving operational demands. This arrangement allow government offices to maintain flexibility, no, access technical expertise, and sustain service delivery without expanding permanent plantilla positions. Yun nga, pag nagkaka-plantilla kasi, nag-iiba na yung ugali ng mga tao. Hindi naman lahat. Yung iba na mas gumagaling, yung iba nagiging kampante na. So when properly managed, non-regular personnel can significantly contribute to efficiency, responsiveness, and innovation in public service. However, the use of outsourced and contracted personnel also raises important concerns related to accountability, equity, performance management, and labor protection. Government agencies must balance operational efficiency with ethical responsibility, legal compliance, and service quality. Understanding the appropriate use, limitations, and management of non-regular personnel is essential to ensure that these arrangements support not weaken public sector effectiveness and trust. At this point, we will give the presenter adequate time to discuss the legal frameworks, policies, procedures, and practical considerations related to outsourcing, contracting, and hiring non-regular government personnel. The presenter will also share real-world experiences and examples, implementation challenges, and best practice observed in government offices. Go ahead po.
Good day everyone and Happy New Year po. This presentation discusses outsourcing, contracting, and hiring non-regular government personnel. Imagine a government office na biglang nangailangan ng IT experts, janitors, engineers, and data analysts pero hindi pwedeng i-hire for plantilla position or permanently. Ano yung pwedeng gawin? This is where outsourcing, contracting, and non-regular personnel come in. These arrangements are government strategies to deliver public services without expanding the permanent civil service. Government need workers to deliver public services efficiently. Not all government workers are permanent employees. Outsourcing and contracting help government respond to changing needs. Bakit nga ba ito ginagawa ng government institution or offices? Traditionally, governments relied on regular or permanent employees. However, public institutions face budget limitation, increasing service demands, rapid technological change, short-term and project-based needs. To cope, government adopts flexible workforce and service delivery mechanism. What is outsourcing? Outsourcing is when the government hires private companies to perform specific services. It happens when the government turns over an entire service or function to an external organization, usually a private company or NGO. For examples are the janitorial services, security services, IT, and technical support. The workers are not government employees, and the government pays the company, not the individual workers. Instead of hiring cleaners or IT staff, the government hires a company to handle everything. In our office, in the office of the Ombudsman, we have janitorial services we call PhilCare and security personnel from the security agency LASAC. Why government outsource? Government outsource to lower costs because hiring private agencies can be cheaper than maintaining permanent staff. Kasi yung mga permanent staff or yung regular employees, kailangan silang bayaran in their regular salaries, benefits like pension, health insurance, and leave, and long-term costs. Kahit na hindi ganun karami ang trabaho. Unlike in private agencies, they hired only for specific tasks or projects and only for a limited time. And once the job is finished, the government no longer has to pay the agency. For example, a city hall needs extra janitorial services during a large public event. Instead of hiring permanent cleaners who would need to be paid every month, the office hires a private cleaning agency just for the event. This saves monies because payment is only for the short period needed. And next is to specialized expertise. Specialized tasks requires skilled professionals that not may not be available internally.
Oo,
Certain jobs are highly specialized. For example, is advanced IT security, legal consulting, or medical analysis. For example, is a local government office needs to investigate a cybersecurity breach in its systems. However, none of the regular staff have advanced training in cybersecurity or digital forensics. Because this is a specialized task, the office hires external cybersecurity experts to analyze the breach, to secure the system, and to prevent future attacks. And last is to less administrative burden. It has fewer management and paperwork responsibilities compared to handling the work with permanent staff. The government office can focus on its core functions while the private agency handles staffing and daily management. Outsourcing is in government can be helpful but also comes with risk. It may lead to reduce government control, and it happens when the government outsource services. It give up some direct control or over how the work is done. Um, Example is if a government hospital outsources its janitorial services, it cannot directly assign tasks to cleaners. All requests must go through the contracting company. And the next risk is the service quality depends on the contractor. If the contractor cut costs or lacks skilled workers or does not follow standards, the public may receive poor service. Gaya na lang ng nangyari sa ating mga flood control projects. Iba't ibang contractor ang nakinabang, tayo naman ang naperwisyo. And another risk is accountability become less direct. With outsourcing, it can be unclear who is responsible when something goes wrong, the government or the contractor. This makes accountability more complicated and can weaken public trust. Um, Yun nga, balik tayo ulit sa flood control project ng DPWH. Karaniwan ng ina-outsource kasi ngayon yung paggawa ng mga dike, kanal, or yung drainage sa isang private contractor. For example, natapos yung project at sinabing okay na daw, pero nung dumating yung malakas na ulan or yung bagyo, biglang bumaha pa rin. Dito nagkakaroon ng problema sa accountability. Ang mga tao sinisisi ang DPWH dahil ito ang government office may project nun. Pero sasabihin naman ng DPWH na contractor ang may kasalanan dahil hindi maayos ang pagkakagawa. Pero ang contractor naman ay pwede magsabi na sinunod lang nila yung plano at ang pondo na binigay ng DPWH. Dahil po dito, hindi agad malinaw kung sino ang dapat managot. Nauudlot ang aksyon, natatagalan ng pag-aayos, at mas lalong nawawalan ng trust yung public sa mga project at lalo na sa gobyerno. In outsourcing, the key idea is the service is public but the provider is private. Kaya naman mahalaga na maingat na bantayan ng gobyerno ang mga contracts at enforce clearly ang performance standards. Next is, what is contracting? Contracting involves hiring individuals for a fixed period. The government enters into a formal agreement with an external provider to deliver a specific service or output under set conditions. Workers are paid based on a contract agreement, no employer-employee relationship within the government. Examples is the consultants, project-based professional, technical experts, and another example is a construction firm contracted to build a public hospital. A government may contract a construction firm to build public infrastructure such as schools, roads, or hospitals. And another is an NGO contracted to run a community health program. The government may contract non-governmental organizations or NGOs or private agencies to manage social services or public programs. In outsourcing, the government hires an external company or service provider to handle an entire function or process, often long-term basis. And while in contracting, the government hires an external company or individual to complete a specific task or project, typically on a short-term basis. Unlike outsourcing, the government sets performance standards, monitors compliance, and retains oversight. Non-regular government personnel. Uh, the hiring of non-regular government personnel has become a common practice in many public institutions. Non-regular personnel includes contractual workers, job order workers, casual or temporary employees. These are individuals hired outside the permanent civil service. Contractual employees or yung contract of service or yung cost na tinatawag is this is the engagement of an individual as a consultant, learning service provider, or technical expert for a special project or job that not part of the agency's regular functions or where the required expertise is unavailable in-house. Contracts have a maximum duration of 1 year and renewable. While the job order workers o yung mga JO, they are hired for piece of work or intermittent or emergency jobs, often manual labors or crafts for short duration, typically under 6 months. They are hired when there is no permanent position available, the work are seasonal or project-based. They are employed to address workforce shortages, meet project-based needs, and ensure continuity of public service. Why government hires them? One is for faster hiring process. One of the primary reasons governments hire non-regular personnel is for the faster hiring process. Unlike regular position, which often require lengthy civil service procedures, competitive examinations, and multiple approval stages, non-regular appointments can be processed more quickly. These allow government agencies to immediately address urgent staffing needs and avoid service disruptions. Next is for short-term or seasonal needs. Non-regular personnel are commonly hired to fulfill short-term or seasonal requirements. Government projects, programs, and activities often have limited duration such as census operations, like yung ginagawa po ng mga taga-NSO na nag-hire sila ng mga nagbabahay-bahay po na nagsisensus. Infrastructure projects, disaster response, or election-related work. Yung katulad po yung sa ginagawa ng mga sa COMELEC na pag may election yung mga watcher po, basically mga iba nga po dun is ano lang sila, para makinuha lang po sa barangay, tas binayaran lang for short term. Hiring non-regular personnel ensures that agencies can meet temporary workload increases without committing to permanent staffing. But there are reality on the ground. Many non-regular workers do the same work as regular employees. In many government offices, non-regular personnel perform the same tasks as regular employees. They handle administrative work, assist the public, and support daily operations. They are paid wage equivalent to comparable government position and may receive a premium charge against the agency's maintenance and other operating expenses budget. For example, a contractual clerk may process document just like a permanent staff member. Based on my experience, my personal experience po, as a JO for almost 8 years, totoo po na minsan mas marami pang trabaho ng JO kumpara sa mga regular employees. Sila kasi may IPCR na sinusunod or target, while yung mga JO, kung ano ang i-assign or iutos, yun ang gagawin. Iskis lang po sa iba na based on my experience, mas marunong at mas maayos pa po ang trabaho ng mga JO kumpara sa regular employees, lalo na dun sa may mga kaidaran na or yung nag-aantay na lang ng retirement at bonuses. Another reality on the ground, they have no job security. Despite doing similar work, non-regular workers have no job security. Their contracts are temporary and may end anytime, even after years of service. As to my experience, totoo po yan na pwede yung mag-end ng contract anytime. Sa amin po sa Office of the Ombudsman, continuous naman po ang renewal namin for every 6 months. Pero based pa din yan sa supervisor kung i-endorse ka niya for renewal. Pero kahit gaano pa kagaling at kahit kailangan ka pa ng opisina pag wala ng pondo or paglabas ng ang CSC, COA, and ang DBM ng mga joint circulars, pwede po talaga kaming mawala ng trabaho. And another grounds po is many non-regular workers receive fewer benefits. Non-regular personnel also receive fewer benefits. They often lack paid leave, health insurance, and retirement benefits, unlike regular employees. There is no employer-employee relationship between the government agency and the cost or JO worker. As such, they are not covered by civil service laws, rules, and regulation, and do not receive the benefits like yung GSIS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig contributions, 13-month pay, and leave credits na na-enjoy ng mga regular government employees. Ang mga cost NGOs po ay no work, no pay. And wala po kaming nakukuhang benefits dahil sa no employer-employee relationship. And ang bonus po ay galing lang sa national government. Yun lang po yung every December na ina-announce pa sa TV na parang 5,000 or 7,000 ata yun. And luckily lang po sa Office of the Ombudsman po, ang benefits po lang namin nung ako pa ay JO ay PhilHealth. Pero may contribution pa din po kami doon na kinakaltas sa amin every cut-off. Wala kaming paid leave kaya umaasa kami sa mga early dismissal or half day para kahit papaano bayad kami. Kaya pag bumabagyo, may times na gusto muna naming makapag-in muna kami bago sana ma-cancel yung pasok para bayad yung araw namin. Hindi din kami entitled sa bonuses. Luckily, mabait po ang opisina namin. Nakakatanggap pa din po kami ng bonus na masasabi namin hindi namin makukuha yung halaga na yon kahit mag-private company kami. In conclusion, this condition result in two-tier workforce within government offices. One group enjoying job security, full benefits, and career progression, and another group performing similar work under unstable conditions with limited compensations and protections. This division can affect employee morale, productivity, and perceptions of fairness in public service. Sa panahon ngayon, marami na talaga din pong nagkakaroon ng interes sa pagpasok or pagtatrabaho sa gobyerno. Hindi lang sa experience, pero dahil na rin po sa mga benefits na pwedeng makuha. Masasabi ko po na swerte tayo na may plantilla or permanent employees na tayo ng government kasi marami naghahangad ng mga positions natin. Kaya sana pahalagahan at gawin natin ang mga tungkulin natin bilang isang empleyado ng gobyerno. Kasi hindi biro yung applications and interviews na pinagdaanan natin para mapunta tayo kung saan man tayo ngayon. In conclusion, outsourcing, contracting, and hiring non-regular employees play a vital role in strengthening government operation. These practices provide flexibility, reduce costs, address manpower shortages, and provide access to specialized skills needed for effective service delivery. By enabling government agencies to focus on their core functions while efficiently managing resources, these workforce strategies help ensure continuity, efficiency, and responsiveness in serving the public. My next topic is employee relations and employee engagement. Dean Marmelo will begin by introducing my second topic.
Okay, prior to that, no, I just want to share a summary of the previous discussions now. Outsourcing no allows the government agency to delegate specific services to external providers, no, particularly for functions that are not core to the agency's mandate. No, example, include security services, no, janitorial work, IT maintenance, and facility management. When done properly, outsourcing health offices focuses on core functions while ensuring support services are delivered efficiently. However, weak contract monitoring may result in service quality issues or labor standard violation, highlighting the importance of a strong oversight. Contracting individuals such as job order or contract of service personnel is often used to address short-term or project-based needs. Let's say, for example, no, a local government unit may contract researchers or technical staff for a time-bound development projects. While this provides flexibility, challenges arise when contract personnel perform tasks similar to regular employees without clear rule boundaries, leading to moral and equity concern. No? Hiring non-regular personnel also plays an important role in addressing staffing gaps, no, especially in periods of high workload or emergency response. No, during peak enrollment periods, let's say for example, state university, no, or disaster response operations, agency may temporarily hire additional personnel to maintain service continuity. And this arrangement help prevent burnout, no, among regular staff, but require clear expectation and performance standards. So performance management is a recurring challenge, no, in managing non-regular personnel. Unlike regular employees, non-regular staff may not be fully integrated into existing appraisal system. So best practices include setting clear deliverables, defining timelines, and conducting regular performance review, no, tied to contract renewal decision. This ensures accountability while recognizing contributions fairly. So outsourcing, contracting, and hiring non-regular personnel are practical tools in modern public administration when used responsibly. So clear policies, transparent process, proper supervision, and respect for labors are essential, no, to make this arrangement effective. When aligned with organizational goals and ethical governance, non-regular personnel can meaningfully support government operations while safeguarding public interest and service quality. Ano po?